The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Power Trading Hour with your host, David White. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044. Now, David White.
And back to another excellent edition of the Power Trading Hour with me, your unbelovable, squeezably soft host. And as always, we love to come to you at this time.
The following takes place between 2 p.m. and 3 p.m.
S&P cash up 32 points at 2664.63. Dow's up 273. Nasdaq's up 109. Russell's up 11. Crude oil's up $1.34. And did I look at anything else out here? I think I did. But let's just get it because I don't want to quote you something old, something new. Gold down 50 cents, silver down a little over a penny. The dollar index, as we start to the show off today, is up 13 cents at 96.95. So we keep knocking on the door of 97. And the question is, this is kind of the high end of the range. You break through 97, you're probably going to 100. I don't see the strength yet. But again, we haven't gone through 97 really quite that much yet. So yeah, you got you're almost there. The question is, are we just going to jump through that, or are we going to grind through that over a period of several days? I am not one that thinks that the dollar's going lower. I thought that we'd probably get back up to retest the 100 level at least, and then we'll see what's happening. You can give me a call at 877-927-6648. You can email me at path@tfnn.com, or as always, put a message in the den. Have a lot of stocks to look at. We are at least through the Thanksgiving season. This is normally a bullish bias over 150 or 200 years in the stock market. And that is that you get through Thanksgiving, you're going to, on average, go up about 1.5% on the averages. That's not a lot. I mean, what did we do today already? Yeah, about 1.5%. But we've got fund buying that actually starts on Friday this week. The first couple of days through next week, that'll be it. Expiration's a little late this month. That goes to the 21st. That's got a bullish bias. But we've got a lot of people that were incredibly short. Volume's going to shrink probably every day till the end of the year. And that tells us one thing, that generally, if you're, especially in highly shorted markets, there is the tendency for nothing to happen. And that generally the weakest hands, almost always the shorts, will start to cover, which causes more people to cover. So there's kind of this fairly decent bias higher in the market that this slowly moves higher. If you got a stock that's highly shorted, then you can have very fast moves that seem like they take hours and days to set up, and then they just kind of run the table like a good pool player, he said. So I'm kind of looking for that, 1.5%, 3% kind of move higher. On the indexes, probably not the biggest movers, but there are a lot of stocks set up very nicely to go higher through the end of the year. Going to see a lot of people, as soon as the stock goes a little higher, they're going to short it. Then a couple of days later, it's going to go a little higher. They're going to cover. They'll re-short it. It just starts kind of almost a ratcheting action that continues up through the end of the year. So I'm not bearish. I'm not wildly bullish, but I do have positions in the market that I think are going to slowly squeeze people into the end of the year. So this is going to be one of those things where making money slowly is fairly part of the action. Options, probably the markets and most stocks are not going to move fast enough to defeat the decay on options. So if you're in the market, it is one of these things where, like a sailor, sometimes you're out there and there's just not a lot of wind. You just have to use it to the maximum efficiency. If you are bearish in this market, I suspect the best thing to do is wait until January 1st and reevaluate that position. But to me, this is a great time for so many stocks and markets to slowly grind out the oversold, undersold part of them, that when we get to the first of the year, a lot of times those bearish positions have just slowly evaporated over time. We really have to see some kind of big news going into the new year. That being said, if you were extremely bearish, I just think that you've got 4 weeks off, at least. And we'll talk more about that as the week progresses. Anything else out here? I think that's about it. Oh, I forgot to get I knew I was missing something out here. I got a couple of minutes left. Let's go ahead and pull up some other stuff that I wanted to. If you didn't notice today, I haven't heard any discussions about it for a while, but certainly there's nothing new on that. But we have lost $4,000 in Bitcoin. I think it was about 3,800 last time I looked. Yeah, 3,785. And had a couple people email me. There are some great books about understanding these kind of moves in markets and just the insanity of something like Bitcoin. But they haven't changed since recorded history. Some of these kind of boom bust cycles. In fact, I think, if I remember right, the first recorded one is somewhere around 100 AD, maybe 50 AD. So these are nothing new in human history. But I always say that you should read one book on the boom bust cycles over history. And that is a short history of financial euphoria by John Kenneth Galbraith. It's only like 130 pages. It was published in 1993, so before the dot-com bubble and the housing bubble. But these things aren't anything new. They just happen more frequently now that we're more of a world market than an individual market. But nothing real new out there. Let's talk a little history, and then we'll try to get into some charts after the break.
And it's all just a little bit of history repeating.
On this day in 1922, in the Egyptian's Valley of the Kings, British archaeologists Howard Carter and Lord Caravan become the first souls to enter King Tut's tomb in more than 3,000 years. King Tut, the boy king, he gave his life for tourism. Opened up his little place in 1922. We'll be back and look at some charts.
The TAS Profile Scanner is the most revolutionary piece of trading software that you will ever try. Wouldn't you like to approach the markets with confidence? As you begin your trading day, it's likely that you'll be faced with lots of decisions. In order to make the best decision, the first thing you'll need is a strategy that will help you minimize your risks. Whether we're in a bull or bear market, a good strategy is to have the tools needed to help you scan and analyze the markets before you trade. The TAS Profile Scanner instantly scans and filters over 2,500 global financial markets, such as stocks, ETFs, commodity futures, and Forex. Headed by Steve Dahl, president of TAS Market Profile, the TAS Profile Scanner understands that in today's technological world, the use of top-flight software applications, automated trading algorithms, and technical analysis expertise is essential to successful trading in today's market. Whether you're looking at the trade matrix, the ETF heat grid, the market breadth, the landscape charts, or the many other features of the TAS Profile Scanner, this is a piece of software that will revolutionize how you look at the markets and set up your trades. The team at TAS has even put together a 12-part video series to walk you through every aspect of the TAS Profile Scanner, which you can find directly on the TAS order page at TFNN.com. Sign up now for only $97 a month with a risk-free 30-day trial, so you have nothing to lose and everything to gain. See for yourself how you can harness the full power of the TAS Profile Scanner by visiting the front page of TFNN.com today, and you'll find the TAS Profile Scanner under the Services section. Remember, with a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to lose. Don't let another day pass you by without trying out this amazing piece of software that will revolutionize how you look at the market and how you place trades. Sign up today.
Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den. The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of the TFNN shows, plus see all of the charts as they happen live and have access to archives of all of those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days and greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets and how to make your money work for you. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com.
TFNN has launched our brand new website. You can still visit us at the same TFNN.com URL, but when you do, you'll see a new and improved homepage with a much simpler navigation, whether you're watching Tiger TV live in high definition or just accessing your newsletter subscriptions. We even have new pricing in 6 months and yearly options. Check out the new TFNN.com now and experience all the upgrades. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
And we are back. First email of the day comes in from Lonnie. He wants to know if Whirlpool is going to take out 150 in the next 6 months. You've had two legs down since the 167.54 high on May 22nd. The leg from August 3rd has had about the same energy down to 102. You've had kind of a light volume bounce up in Whirlpool. I don't see anything that says this thing's taking out 150 anytime soon. I think that was the question. What you would like to see after these big downtrends is some long consolidation. Now, maybe if we get 4 weeks of consolidation and this thing goes sideways, all the energy's out of it, we might see buying opportunity. Let me do this real quick. I haven't checked on the well, you had a big day on the 19th for shorting, almost 30%. I don't know what's going on that. You still have 2 or 3 days of although you've got now 2 days to cover, so a little less in that frame. The problem is I just don't see that much in it. What you need for Whirlpool to really start going higher is an announcement by the Fed that they aren't going to be raising as much next year. When's the first Fed date from next, let's see, when is that? We'll look it up real quick because we need to know that. Google Fed, or actually FOMC and meeting calendar schedule 2019. I should know this already. Okay, January 29th and 30th. So if you got to that level around January 29th and 30th, and they do say that they're going to do that, But there's a massive correlation to buying washers and dryers and new home sales. And until that changes, I can't see you've got anything other than a small bounce up to this gap that goes back to the 14th of September. Today, you don't have a lot of juice, not a lot of volume. What you would like, I think, is either a retrace to 110. If you're lucky, you get 102.13 out of this on light volume, like maybe a million or maybe 750,000 shares, back to just about 101. And the Fed says, hey, you know what? Maybe we were a little stiff on this, and we're not going to be raising rates in housing for a while, and that levels out. But I don't see anything in here. Let's go back and look. Let's go back a little bit farther. Yeah, I mean, you've gone straight down from 198, so you got a 50% haircut. You got a bounce. It doesn't have a lot of energy. Maybe more volume comes in by the end of the day, but I don't think so. Yeah, you either were looking for some kind of low about 110 or 102 on light volume, and then a change in the Fed saying that maybe we've been a little too aggressive with the interest rates. But I just don't, you had a really unprepared bounce off this October 26 low. There wasn't really a great signal out here. You actually pierced the low with more volume, and you'd really love to see that 102.13 tested. What else do we have going on out here? We'll look at a lot of other stocks that have already given fairly decent signals. I had these in my newsletter this morning, but these are the ones that are at least coming much closer over the next few days if you're looking for something to buy into the new year, where people are going to be skating, to use the Wayne Gretzky overused chestnut. But, Blackbaud, BLKB, Blackbaud, had a nice gap up on the February 9th, did so on 2.6 million shares. We came back in there and tested that with 867,000 shares. This is exactly what I want to see. I want this thing to go sideways for a while. I want everybody to get bored out of here. I want this to kind of come back to maybe 65 bucks. On that, you see about 65 bucks on December 29th into the new year. You get a couple of days that look okay in the general market. That one could see from 65 or 70 back up to 90. I like that one better. But what I really like is the fact that this came down with a lot of volume. It really hasn't given up its lows so far. It's done nothing but go sideways. Could you be late on this one? I think, it's 50-50. I'm just telling you what in a perfect world, what we could possibly have. Other stocks that looked interesting to me and that were probably had some false breakouts over the last few days of trading is Citigroup. 63.93 is the June 26th low that had 22 million shares. On Friday, you dipped down in there with 7.3 million shares. Tell you you're back into that trading range. And again, a lot of these stocks came down with high energy. And you've got two things. Either one, they're going to break through the lows, or two, you're going to have a very nice consolidation before these things move back. Now, you had no volume the first time this thing went through that July 26th low. You're back into the trading range, but you still came down on energy. You come down on energy almost always, unless you have a massive short interest, ends up in consolidation. What else do we have out here? Cadence Bank Corp, another bank stock breaking through lows, especially just lately here. I think that's the one I was looking at. So we'll take a look at this here. You had a low of $20.34 in it on October 24th. $20.34, 2.4 million shares. You got into it with 1/10 the volume on Friday. That's, Friday's going to be light volume already. You got a little bit more volume out here. Now, this is one that is already ready to buy if you like the setup. I'm not going to be in banks, but you had that October 24th low with 2.4 million shares, got into it with 1/10 the volume. Would you have 1 point? Even if you go a couple of days forward, you had 1.6 million shares into that 2.4 million shares. What I really like is that overall, this November 2nd high came back down to this with energy that was only about 3/4, maybe even less than that, maybe 2/3 of the energy off this original October 24th low at 2034. Now, there isn't a lot of money in it, but that is kind of the pattern that I'm looking at. We want to see stuff that's already bounced with energy come back with light energy, and or patterns that are setting up for consolidation for a run next year. We'll be back in a minute.
The Path of Least Resistance, David White's daily market letter, gives you trade recommendations based on David's proprietary Power Law Vector indicator that put the odds of success overwhelmingly in your favor. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price for each stock and option trade. David combines his years of trading experience along with his background in technology and computing to offer his subscribers his take on the markets on a daily basis. Every trading day by 9:30, David publishes his morning issue of the Path of Least Resistance, along with updates sent out throughout the week whenever there is new actionable trading information. All new subscribers receive a 30-day, no questions asked, money-back guarantee. To sign up for David White's daily trading newsletter right now, visit the front page of TFNN.com and you'll find the Path of Least Resistance under Trading Newsletters.
Hi folks, Tom O'Brien here. If you'd like to get my daily newsletter, Market Insights, then now is a great time to sign up for a 30-day free trial. Every morning by 9:30, I send out my morning letter to subscribers with market commentary on a variety of markets, currencies, and commodities to keep investors up to date on the day's trading action. Included in Market Insights are specific buy and sell recommendations for stocks, ETFs, and even options, with stops and price targets included for every trade in my newsletter. If you'd like to try my newsletter risk-free for 30 days, then head over to the front page of TFNN and you'll find Market Insights under Trading Newsletters. I use my years of trading experience to bisect and dissect the market every morning and give my subscribers the most important information they need to know for the day ahead. I even issue afternoon updates for my subscribers whenever warranted with important market action. I'm always scouring the market for the next great trading opportunity. Sign up for your 30-day free trial to my daily newsletter, Market Insights, today by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Wow! Go get 'em, folks.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
And we're going to go through a few more of these charts today as we wait for the market to start ramping up for the holiday season. Of course, big news, I guess a handful of the news out there that you probably should be aware of if you're not already, and that is that retail sales are higher. They're pretty high level of linkage to gas prices. When gas prices are low, people go farther. They spend more money for Christmas. I think that's a fairly well used correlation. So, when I was buying gas for 220 last week, that was, I think, just about everything you need to know, at least about this Christmas, and that is people are going to feel a little bit better about the upcoming economy. Not because they know anything, they just feel that way when gas prices are lower. Other things going on in the markets today. Taiwan had a referendum. I think it was on Saturday. Maybe it was on Friday. And that was for uranium, whether or not to pull the plug on all their nuclear power stations that they have over there. And I think it was 65-35. They decided to keep them. When they told everybody that their electrical prices would go up 100% if they decided to get rid of it, everybody kind of said, you know what? Nuclear power is not all that bad. So, hey, I'm from China, Taiwan, and other countries, including France. It seems to me, at least, those uranium companies are going to be in business for a while, supplying uranium for those power generation stations. When you're going to get a big move on them, hard to tell. But there are 200 on getting ready to be set up over the next few years in China. Looks like there'll be a few more now in Taiwan. And a lot of other people looking at replacing coal, either have the opportunity to go to natural gas or nuclear. In a lot of places, it's not easy to get natural gas, so they will probably go to nuclear power stations. Well, eventually, hopefully, we'll have fusion and not fission. But, for everybody that's so concerned about the world, very few people talk about throwing all their money behind fission, which I think if they really believed all the hype, I think that they would think that that's the only way out. You can't starve everybody to death because you believe something's going to be true. But certainly fission would probably end everybody else's issues with coal and even natural gas. It would just all be gone overnight. Well, probably not overnight. Take a while to build all the stations, but I don't know, 50 years, we could be off all fossil fuels. But ain't nobody wanting to do the giant Apollo program to the moon and get behind that, which always makes me think that maybe they're really not that serious about it. Or someone would have brought it up already. They all just say, well, don't do anything as they drive their SUVs everywhere. Okay, what else is going on out here? If you missed it also, France looks very interesting. Lots of riots in the city. More about energy, where it looks like gasoline to drive is around $8 a gallon, especially around Paris. And everybody's burning everything to the ground on that as they continue to try to move the price of gasoline higher, which tells you one thing: people want to go places. Probably not a good bet politically to get in front of those people long term either. And of course, UK may or may not have some kind of Brexit deal, but anything that was passed by the EU in 20 or 25 minutes probably means that it's horrible for the British people. You just got to figure that way. They've been screwing those guys over for, 20, 30 years now? Okay, enough of my soapbox, but I think that's what you kind of need to know, right, about what's going on now. We'll look at some other stocks. Deuterium on the dark side of the moon. It's on all sides of the moon, but you can actually get it cheaper out of seawater, so that wouldn't be a big issue. Yep, we got to go back to the future. Okay. Comerica. Let's take a look at this one. You came down. This one looked a little bit different. We're going to look at it this way. CMA is the symbol on this one. This one's kind of nice. The energy didn't really come down enough off this November 12th high, but on the other side, it didn't increase either. But you had a 2.2 million share low on October 24th at 78.11. 2.2 million shares into just 800,000 shares on Friday. But you're back into the trading range, and that's how a lot of stocks have reacted so far today. You've got some pullbacks and some. Oil looks like there's so many of these charts back at fairly decent support levels that you probably do have it. We did, of course, have a nice little bounce in crude today. Where is that out here? Oil's up $1.45, which is about 2.8%. But there are a bunch of these energy stocks that have or do look fairly decent down at these levels. I don't think there's a lot of money in it, but could crude go back to 55? I think, yeah, probably a fairly decent bet. October 30th, $16.81, 2.5 million shares. Got into it on the 20th with 2 million shares. Got into it on Wednesday last week with less than 1 million shares. You're back up with 1.4 million shares into the trading range. Now, this one, as I said, a lot of these look fairly decent. You had about 20% less energy in this one off that November 7th high at $20.51. So if we look at a few more of these, I think there's a few more of these that have these patterns. Looking at Gold Corp, saw this one come in the last couple of days. You came down, of course, on monstrous volume on the 25th of October, down with almost 50 million shares. Got into it with 8 million shares on the 21st. On Wednesday, you had 4.6 million shares. You got 4.5 million shares out here today. But you're really bucking up against this down candle from the 25th of October. You want to keep a close eye on that. Now, didn't really have much in the way of movement for gold today, down 50 cents. But again, until gold breaks below 1,200 significantly, or above probably 1230 or 1240 significantly, this thing is just stuck in a trading range, and why I try to stay out of doldrums until they break one way or the other. We'll be back in a minute. Give me a call, 877-927-6648.
Are you in the market for buying or selling real estate in the Bay Area, including the surrounding St. Petersburg, Tampa, and Clearwater markets? Tiger Real Estate LLC is a firm that has extensive experience in the Tampa Bay area. Whether you're looking to sell your current property for maximum value, or you're in the market for a second home or investment property, Tiger Realty has the experience across all areas of real estate in the Tampa Bay area to help buyers and sellers make the most informed decisions across all price levels. From the price you should be paying per square foot in certain up-and-coming areas to the type of cash flow investment properties are capable of creating, Tiger Real Estate can help you make the best decision when it comes to all areas of the market. Before you make one of the biggest decisions of your financial future, call Tiger Real Estate LLC today at 727-329-8322 or email us at tiger@tfnn.com. That's 727-329-8322. Call us today. No matter what kind of trader you are, 2018 is a great time to try out a subscription to Tom O'Brien's Gold Report. Whether you just plan on diversifying your portfolio with some exposure to gold and gold mining equities, or you're a gold bull that sees 2018 as the year of commodities, now is a great time to sign up for the Gold Report. Tom O'Brien publishes his Gold Report every Monday morning before the market opens and covers a variety of topics including gold, silver, platinum, copper, the XAU and HUI, the dollar, bonds, South African rand, as well as more than 20 of the most actively traded mining equities. Start your 2018 off with a bang and sign up for the Gold Report today. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. For all the details and to start your subscription right now, visit the front page of TFNN.com and you'll find the Gold Report under Investment Newsletters. Will the S&P 500 continue to climb? For bold trades on U.S. large-cap stocks in either direction, trade SPXL, SPUU, or SPXS. Directions Daily S&P 500 Bull and Bear Leveraged ETFs. Direction Leveraged ETFs. An investor should carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risks, charges, and expenses before investing. A fund's prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a fund's prospectus and summary prospectus, call 866-476-7523 or visit directioninvestments.com. A fund's prospectus and summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV for the latest market information.
And we're waiting for the latest satellite to land on Mars. And I'm looking through these articles, so it's kind of hard to find out when it lands exactly, because I think it takes about 20 minutes for the signal to get back to us. So maybe when it lands and when we actually get the signal are 20 minutes apart. I don't know. I've got it queued up over here. I'll let everybody know. But it's going to actually, you know, there's a lot of talk about going to Mars, but we don't know a lot about it. In fact, one of the things we don't know at all is how active it is geologically. So the big thing in this one, I think there's a handful of things besides better cameras, but I think the big science on this one is putting a what do you call them? Not a Richter scale. Not called that anymore. But going to put one on there and see whether or not we'd have any big earthquakes if we ever went to land on it. Strangely enough, of course, Mr. Musk already saying that he wants to go live there. Isn't it just painful to have people say stuff that's never ever challenged? But just me. As we go look at the markets out here, we'll keep an eye on everything. But we're up 36, 37 points, 2,700. Question came in during the break why I'm not exactly looking for huge movements in the market. Where do I think the S&P could go? I'm thinking 2,750, something like that by the end of the year. I'm not looking for a big move, but over 4 weeks, could you go up that far? I think you could, especially if people keep reshorting this market as volume continues to decline. Generally, a good feedback mechanism to push the market higher. Seismologers. Okay, what else do we have? Okay, so yeah. Let me go back to this so I can see it. Up 37, Dow's up 320, Nasdaq's up 122. Again, I had some other emails over the weekend that I did already answer. One of them was, what was my point on how the liquidity? There were a bunch of articles about liquidity out over the weekend, and I show everybody the NANEX chart on just the incredible light movement of that, and a lot of it's, well, there's just not that many traders anymore. And the answer is the volume actually is much better than it was a couple of years ago when we had fantastic liquidity. What we do now have, though, is a lot more volume, but a lot of that volume comes in the last 30 minutes of the day with those dark pools actually showing the volume coming in. The intraday liquidity, though, is incredibly thin. You've got a little bit of liquidity at the open, got a little bit more at the close of the day, But I just think it's the high-frequency traders have broken the market intraday. And that is the big guys are trading on their dark pools. The retail traders are either buying ETFs or they're staying away from doing any kind of trading that is on shorter time frames. I know we have a few more. Do I have somebody on the line here? No. Maybe that's the people. Well, I guess it just landed. They're all clapping. Well, maybe it's already hit. Okay. But again, I think we have to wait for like 20 minutes until any pictures come in or they get the data. They just know that I think it hit Mars. Okay, let's look at some other charts out here. GILD, Gilead. Here, go. Actually, if I can click on it. IBB looked like it might be making some kind of lows out here. Gilead at its first major low at 11 million shares at 66.50. You got to 66.06 on Friday with a little under 9 million shares, so not that much lighter. But what I did like was this November 7th high back to the low on Friday that did kind of come in. You actually only had 3 million shares on Friday, but you had 8 million shares before. So I'm not figuring that. Now, today you got a little sideways action, 5.3 million shares. But a lot of these stocks are just a little bit lighter on the ramp back down and, of course, very light volume on Friday. So if we continue that lighter volume, we can see some bigger moves. Golar LNG, this is a GM LP. If natural gas really starts to fall off, you can look at this one. What I really like on this chart here is the test of September 7th. It came in at $12.71 with 560,000 shares. With this 100,000 shares on Friday. Even if you go back a few days to the 20th, you had 400,000 shares still on that 560. Today, you got about 125,000 shares. You need a little bit of consolidation, but a lot of these, if we start seeing deep declines, maybe it even takes a little while, maybe into next year. But if we start seeing deep declines in natural gas, which I think eventually we will, you want to look at these on the opposite side of it. HP, which is Helmerich and Payne, had a very nice test on Friday. That was the November 14th low at 57.58 with 2.4 million shares. Got into it with just 600,000 shares. You got a nice little bounce out here today, but no continuing volume. HPQ, this is the main part of Hewlett-Packard, not the enterprise printer division. Has been bouncing around these lows. The first one you came in on 18 million shares at 22.84, went a little lower with half the volume at 22.10 on October 29th. Last handful of days, you've had that kind of light volume. You did pierce it on Friday down to 22.27. You're back kind of in that trading range. Any close now above 22.84 puts you back into that trading range and maybe some decent support in HPQ. IMAX, man, these movies aren't getting any better. I was talking to one of the people in the den about Robin Hood. With a $100 million budget, did $15 million the first weekend, so it's going to be a giant dud. There are a handful of movies that are doing okay, but got to say that movies are not doing well this year. They've been rather poor. I can't think of anything that makes me think, oh, yeah, that's going to win an Oscar from either seeing the previews or the roll-ons. Most everything that I've seen good has been from some kind of streaming product, some kind of serial, like my dad would go and see every weekend at the Saturday theaters for a quarter, like Buck Rogers or what was the one he always liked? Charlie Chan. That's one he liked. He always ran around telling me that the longest memory start with the shortest pencil, number 2, son. Some people may get that reference, but that was generally aimed at me because I was very forgetful. IMAX out here may be finding some support. I just looked this morning. I didn't see that many movies that maybe would do very well, especially in the IMAX format going forward. But this thing looks like it may be finding some kind of level of support around this $18 level. You got to keep an eye on it. We'll be back in a minute.
I'm certain you are or strive to be one of the best at everything you do in life. It's the most common trait that we tigers and tigresses share. If you're looking to become the best of the best when it comes to managing your money, let me teach you to do what most wealth managers tell you can't be done, which is how to time the markets. I'm Steve Rhodes, author of Mastering Probability, and for the last 12 months, Timer Digest has been tracking my newsletter signals, which have earned me the ranking as their #1 market timer in the nation for the S&P 500 for the last 12, 6, and 3 months. Timer Digest also ranks me as the #1 market timer for gold as well. The fact is, markets can be timed, and I'll teach you the exact set of tools that I use that has transformed me into one of the best at what I do. Sign up for Mastering Probability today by clicking on the newsletter tab on the homepage of TFNN.com and get immediate access to workshops where I take you step by step how to use an extraordinary set of tools as well as provide great market calls too. Sign up today.
David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today. Since 1984, Basil Chapman has been using the Chapman Wave methodology to advise traders of his expert market opinion. While originally hand-drawing charts from the late 1970s into the 1980s, Basil noticed that prices under most circumstances virtually always had a certain number of legs to the upside before declining sharply. Later, Basil found that computer software, which included the standard market technical indicators, enhanced the degree of accuracy in calling price turns, as well as market trend calls. Thus was born the Chapman Wave sequence. Using the Chapman Wave methodology along with other indicators, Basil Chapman advises his subscribers of his expert market opinion each market day with his opening call newsletter. Right now, you can get a 2-week free trial to the opening call, Basil's daily trading newsletter, by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Cancel at any time during that trial and pay absolutely nothing. Get your 2-week free trial to Basil's newsletter, The Opening Call, today by visiting TFNN.com.
Catch Tom O'Brien, professional trader and educator, founder of TFNN. Also, a special guest on CNBC. Tom will bisect and dissect the markets. The Tom O'Brien Show, next on TFNN.
Well, it looks like the satellite just landed, but I'm not exactly sure. These guys don't say whether it was landed 20 minutes ago and they just got the response, or if it is they projected that it landed. I'll get to find out. But be interesting. Anyway, we got another satellite up, another probe up there already. We're going to look at Wing Stop. Nice test on Friday. You had almost 940,000 shares on November 2nd. $61.40. Yeah, 940,000 shares. Got into it with less than 200,000 shares. You got a little bounce out here today. This one looks fairly good. The downside that I see in this is that, especially NFL, I don't know, maybe this thing's getting ready to be geared up maybe for basketball. But certainly a lot of these wing and pizza places, people aren't watching on the TV. They're not going to the big domes to watch it either. And about a fourth of all the seats in the NFL each weekend now are going empty. And that tells me a lack of enthusiasm, and that lack of enthusiasm probably goes to people at home too. Probably still a good business, maybe just a business, maybe it's worth a little less these days. But I don't know what else you can say about it. We'll look at some other ones tomorrow. We don't have time to finish that up today, but I don't, some of these charts look good, or maybe something's going to happen in football to get people back in the stands. Right now, I don't see anything. Didn't talk to anybody that talked much about football. When they do talk about football, it's all college ball. Not many people talking about NFL. And I guess is where the big money is being made for these pizza and wing companies. We'll look more about this tomorrow. In the meantime, sell when you can, not when you have to. And we'll see you here tomorrow. Same bat channel, same bat time.
Larry Pesavento has just started his brand new service, Fibonacci 24/7, and he's already delivering content to his subscribers on a daily basis when the market's opened and even on weekends. Each Monday, you'll receive Larry's written report that provides detailed commentary and a summary on the charts and videos that Larry sends out. And throughout the week, when warranted, Larry will send out via charts or videos or both the key markets that he is watching during the day. This will be up-to-the-date, active trading information that will help you in your daily trading. In Larry's first week alone, he sent out 25 charts, 6 videos, and a full report to his subscribers in just 1 week. If you're a technical trader that uses patterns and retracements to trade, then Larry's service Fibonacci 24/7 is something that you must try. Right now, new subscribers can get a full 30-day money-back guarantee. With nothing to risk, sign up now to Larry Pesavento's Fibonacci 24/7 by visiting the front page of TFNN.com under Trading Newsletters.